gates of hell as we make our way to heaven through the Nazi lines. Viva Victoria!
Evening, guys. Just continue on a little bit of work here on the Bismarck. Still working on the funnel here. I have the searchlights on. Started working on the hangers for the planes. This is a small deck. Deck is on the lower part of the casing there. And these are actually cranes that also go on that small deck. What I didn't show, this is only the frame for the crane. I cut away the actual structure of the crane here. The reason is I'm doing a bit more photo etch. So this is one of the photo etch sets that I have. Let me see, where is it? You can see right here. These are the structure for the crane. And here's just some railing on the other side. Also, you can see right here this bracing. This bracing, I need to cut these pieces away. I had a pointer. Use this file here. So I need to cut these two pieces away, two on each side, and replace them with those photo etch pieces. So I just thought I'd do a quick video here just showing you how I go about doing photo etch. I'll speed parts of the video up because I don't want to bore you to death too much. But I'll just do one of these just to show you how I do the photo etch. So with photo etch, of course, you need something hard to cut the photo etch out. I use this glass cutting board. You want smooth. This has a smooth and a rough side, as you can see. The rough side is on the underside. This is the smooth side. You can use ceramic tile or anything. You don't want to use your cutting mat. You don't want to cut your photo etch on that because this has some give to it when you cut into it, and that could possibly damage your photo etch piece. So the lighting is a bit poor because I'm trying to keep the glare off of the glass here. So just let me get set up to start cutting these pieces out, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so like I said, these are the two pieces here that I'll be cutting out. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit more here. Okay, it's not going to focus, of course. Just be right back. I'll see if I can get something for this to focus on. There you go. So I can't get this piece of garbage camera to focus, but you can see here the pieces that I'm trying to cut out. I mean, this stuff is like a hair. So I just use a I just use a X-Acto knife for this particular things. If it's a larger stuff, I have a set of shears here as well. But I think for this, an X-Acto knife will work. You want to use a sharp knife, and you want to be careful. Sometimes when you cut photo etch off, the piece will actually fly away, and it can fly quite a distance. But not only can it get lost, it can also hit in the eye. So probably a good idea to wear something over your eyes when you're doing this. Or some people actually cut it inside of a Ziploc bag, just so that again, if it flies away, it won't get lost. So, but I have magnifiers on, so I'll just go ahead and cut these pieces, or one of these pieces out. And you want to try to get as close to the edge as possible.
Where has my fire gone? I've lost the will to hold on. I fade away. I let my love die and I walked away. I let my love die and I looked away from the last of my home.
Okay, guys, so as you can see, or maybe you can't see, but there's one of the parts here. So this part will get glued onto here. So just let me prepare glue and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I just, for photo etch, you need to use super glue. Some people use a weaker glue. Really, I guess depends on what the part's being used for. Some people use even something like future floor or pledge floor care, whatever they call it. Some people use white glue, crystal clear. I use super glue. The label is gone, but this is just Gorilla super glue. It just happens to be the brand that I like. And you just take your piece. You only need a small amount of glue for this, and you will also need nice fine tip tweezers. I find work the best for this. So just use the toothpick here.
When our love loses light, when our love loses light, where has the spirit gone? I've lost the heart in the sunlight. I gave it away. I let my love die and I walked away. I let my love die and I looked away from the last of my home. When our love.
So that's pretty good, I think. So you can kind of see it again if the stupid camera would focus. So that's how you do the delicate parts. Like you know, the bigger the parts, the easier it is, of course. These particular parts that I'm putting on here don't require any folding either. It's just basically cut out and replace with what was originally there. There will be some areas of folding on this for railings and stuff like that. So so that's how the crane is done. I'll just be right back and show you some mods I need to make to this piece. Okay guys, so the next part is this that I'll be working on is this small deck. This is where actually the crane actually attaches to this top part. But as you can see here, I've cut and sanded these bracings off of this side to replace it with the photo-etch ones. All I did was cut it off with my cutters, sand it down with a rough sanding stick, files, and finally smooth it out with this fine sanding stick. So I'll just do the same here to the other side and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I stuck this piece of tape onto this one of my old business cards here, just so hopefully you can see the piece a bit better. So you can see just by my, I'll just use a toothpick here. So you can see just by the size of the toothpick how small that piece is. But if you notice on the side opposite toothpick, there are two little nubs. Those nubs are meant to be bent, just to give you a bit more of a gluing surface on this piece. So you can imagine how difficult that's going to be to bend those. But I have one of these photo-etch bending tools. This is a small one. These come in all different sizes, depending on what kind of photo-etch you're working with. I mostly work just with small, so I just have a small one and another one, a medium-sized one. I don't have a large one. I have no need for it really. So basically all you do, you just loosen this knob, place the piece underneath, depending on what you want to bend, what size, and then you clamp it back down, then you use a razor blade to bend it. So something like this, you could bend this small piece here with a razor blade or bending pliers if you have some, but I think it is much easier to use one of these if you have it. If you don't, you can do without it, but if you're going to be doing photo-etch a fair amount, this is a very good investment to make. So I'll go ahead and bend those two little tabs on this, and then I'll put it on. I'll be right back. Okay guys, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. You can see right here at the tip of my knife, those are the two tabs that need to be bent. So I haven't clamped down now, I just need to bend those. So you can see without this tool how difficult this would be to try and bend those. So all you do is, like I said, I have it clamped down. You can use a knife for, so I just use a razor blade, and basically all you do is you put the razor blade underneath and just, for this one I bend it up at 90 degrees because that's the angle that I need, but you can use the razor blade, bend it to whatever angle it is that you're looking for. Okay, so just let me go ahead and bend those and I'll be right back. Okay guys, there's no way you're going to be able to see that, but anyways, those, you just have to take my word for it, but those tabs are now bent up. You'll also notice, or maybe you won't, but there's a very small burr as well right here near the tip. So that can be sanded off. So you need to be able to hold that. So I have these Tamiya. These are bending pliers for photo etch. They're flat jaws and they have no serrations inside, so you don't damage the photo etch. And you need a set of these diamond files. These are super cheap. You get a pack of a whole bunch of different ones for like $5. So these are also very handy for photo etch. So just let me go and get that burr off, and be right back. Okay guys, so what's been a grueling, boring 5-10 minutes for you guys. It's been about an hour for me. You can see I have one on, so I have 3 more to go on that. And I have 1 more crane to go. So when I come back, I'll have those couple of pieces on, and then I'll end this video. And when I get into a bit more of the larger photo etch parts, like doing these are for the catapults, for the planes. These are parts for the hangar. All of this is parts for the radar antenna. So when I get back to doing those parts, I'll probably do another video. Could show you some proper bending and that sort of thing. So when I get this done, and probably a day or two, I'll be back to show you the result. Okay guys, so it's 2 days later. So when I last left off, I was putting on the bracing under that small deck and replacing some of the structure on the small cranes. One thing about photo etch is if you're not in the mood to do it, it's best not to do it. Modeling in general, it's best not to come down and try and force yourself into it, because that's when you make mistakes, get fed up, and we all know how it goes. But photo etch even more so, I think, because it's so delicate and so time consuming. Plus, with a lot of photo etch stuff, you only get one try, and if you screw it up, essentially there's no going back for the most part. So I'll just show you how much I got done. So I have 2 of these small cranes done, they're ready to go. And the other part, I better use tweezers to pick this up. And the other part is putting on that bracing. 4 pieces. So, as you can see, very little, well, it looks like very little progress over 2 or 3 days, but that's just how photo etch goes. And I find shipbuilding in general, the few ships that I have built, you do a lot of work, but progress doesn't really look like that much. So next part now, I'm going to try and finalize this funnel. That small part with the bracing goes into this slot here, and the cranes, and the cranes go in between here. This piece here is the top deck on the funnel. essentially slides in there. It won't slide all the way in. The unfortunate part is this piece gets railing, which means you gotta have railing all around this shape, around the edge. I've never done photo etch railing before, so I'm not looking too forward to it, all honesty. And just to give you a sense of how fine the railing is, here it is next to a toothpick. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 rows of railing on this top part. So that'll give you an idea of just how fine that railing is. So I'm not looking forward to handling and bending that to go around this shape, but we'll see how it goes. Just finished up the blast bags on the main guns, the ones that I formed using epoxy sculpt putty. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as I started that, it wasn't 2 days later, I saw a video online where a guy showed another way to do it, which much easier, and in my opinion looked much better. So on the secondary guns, I'm going to try that method. When I get it done and see how it turns out, I'll probably pop up a video and just show how I did that. So, but anyways, guys, that's where I am on the Bismarck. I'm hoping to soon get going with the wood deck. I think the wooden deck that I have there, I don't think it has any adhesive on the back. I think it's one of those that you actually have to glue it down, which I don't really mind. I'm just trying to determine what's the best glue to use for that. You're essentially sticking wood to plastic. If anybody has any suggestions or any experience on doing that, if you could just leave me a comment, be much appreciated. So anyways, guys, enough rambling. As always, thanks for watching and hope you stay tuned.
Loses light when our love loses light.